computer. Okay, so let's just make sure that the slide is on. I'm seeing it twice for some reason. Oh, there we go. Okay, so hello to all my Opulence Lifestyle family, brothers and sisters. We are back with our Thursday Opulence Forensic Training. And last time we left on the 38 mistakes that each and every one of us in the industry of multi-level market tends to fall into. We don't have to make all the mistakes, but it's better we be aware of the ones that exist. They are very accurate, and these mistakes have helped me to identify many of my actions when I was not aware a lot of times. So let's continue very quickly where we stopped last time. We stopped with mistake number 4, when one of us is doing too much strategy into our building. And too much strategy, you can identify it by really seeing if you yourself are contradicting the company, the system, or the culture. If you don't promote what the company promotes, if you are selective with the product usage or sale, that means you might have, like us, 1,400 products on offering, but you might choose to like one and decide to promote it yourself. If you have too much strategy to beat the company plan, the comp plan, which really teaches us what to do every day, instead of following the basics. So always trying to find ways of how to make quicker money or beat the compensation plan instead of following the basic. Do you find yourself having wrong duplication and team culture from yourself down? That means it's enough that we are actually building, but we are building in our own way, not duplicating the company. Usually inside our own organization, there is duplication. That is what we call wrong duplication. Okay, do you recognize that amongst your team? Teams will follow your lead, right? Start their own wrong duplication based on the preference that you are giving them. Now, limited choices. If you're starting to feel that your choices are very limited, that will be another great indicator that you're having too much strategy. It usually hurts the CV. It hurts the joining ratio of your organization, the retention, the monthly activity. It hurts the team belief level tremendously. And simply everything your company produce is fantastic and must be promoted. So in order to avoid that mistake of too much strategy, make sure that you don't fall into any of these categories and that you are fully compliant with the last sentence. Simply everything your company produce, everything is fantastic. And you should promote it as so and must be promoted. Remember, you are either promoting or discrediting your products. So that is mistake number 4. If anybody has anything to say about that part before we go to mistake number 5, please type it or raise your hand. In the meantime, I will move on, and Julia, you can interrupt me if we have someone that wants to add. Mistake number 5, not using tools. That is a big, big one. You see, we call our tools many different things. We call them links and prints. We call duplication also a tool, the right duplication. We call credibility a tool. Protection of a new partner, protecting your new business investment, understanding you have an investment and protecting it. Those are all tools. Professionalism is a tool. Time management, a big tool. And being part of a system is a big tool. So when you're going to build your house and you're going to have a set of box of tools, which tools are you going to have? And will you use them properly? No point for you to go with a toolbox that is designed to fix a submarine if you're going to build a house. So identify not just the links and the print tools, which is what we use to expand the mind of a prospect or a potential customer in order to get them to be our customers or our partners. Those are one set of tools. But do not forget all these other tools: proper duplication, credibility for yourself, for the company, for the product you represent, for the industry you represent. Protect your new partners as your biggest assets. Protect your new business as your biggest investment, your biggest asset. Keep it professional. Don't allow emotions to really make the wrong business decision for yourself and your people. Time management, so you don't lose your mind. We'll talk about that. And part of a system. Do not become the system yourself. Be part of a system that is working, because people don't duplicate. Systems duplicate. Big one. Mistake number 6, the God syndrome. And as I said many times, I have fallen into all of those mistakes, 38 of them in the last 30 years plus that I've been in this industry. And by the way, not just in the industry, I fell into those mistakes in the world of corporate as a high executive in the world of IT. So this is really for everything we do in life. The God syndrome. They have to be right all the time. Always in conflict with others. Out of control ego towards their team, their upline, and their candidates. No like and trust with anyone. There's no need to do a like and trust when you are a God. If you believe and you have that syndrome, why should I waste my time liking and trusting people? Everybody should like me. I'm the God, right? A God syndrome. Now, again, remember, this is not as extreme. Yeah, I'm not talking about people that will suddenly wake up and say, I'm God, or no. No, it's just, if we are talking about ourselves, human beings, and each one of us have many different syndromes and skills and things, beautiful things in our personality, obviously through life, they're going to go on a scale, right? From this point to this point. And we are somewhere on that scale with the idea of trying to get to exact middle, which is balance between everything. So it's okay for me to have a little bit of a God syndrome if it's a little bit, but I have many, many things to balance it so you don't feel it as extreme. But if you only have, right, a very highly developed God syndrome, you will easily fall into those predicaments of wanting to be right all the time, of always conflicting everything around you, being out of control, your ego. People can see it from a mile away towards their team. Upline candidates, they usually have a celeb mentality. They don't spend their time on like and trust with anyone. Pin and leadership versus knowledge and respect leadership. Big one on a God syndrome. They do not need to get their leadership through knowledge and respect of the people. They believe they're going to get it just because they have a rank or a pin to show that they are something. So big one, this one. They don't understand the human element of multi-level marketing, which is like and trust. We are all equal. Always remember, everyone you're going to talk to sees themselves as equal to you. They should. And if you do not develop like and trust, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So come to people equally. Always care about them. Ask questions, develop a like and trust, and then they will always be open to listen to whatever you have to say. Don't do as I do. God syndrome always say. Do as I say attitude. Do not do what other people tell you to do. Do because you see them do and worthwhile following them and learning from them. So a God syndrome will always have an attitude of, hey, don't do as I do. You do as I say. How does it come into effect? Every time I'll go to someone and tell them, hey, qualify for MGRS. But if I did not qualify for MGRS and I tell others, it's exactly this. I tell them, hey, it's good to do MGRS, even if I'm not doing it myself, right? So that should really push each and every one of us to do MGRS before we tell other people to do it. And we really want to be as quick as possible in a position to tell people do MGRS, do LD1, because when we do it from doing it ourselves, it's very powerful and much more motivating to others. But if we tell others to do something and they know we didn't do it ourselves, it's never going to be as motivating. It's never going to achieve the same results. Mistake number 6. Before I go to 7, do we have any comments? Anyone that wants to ask questions? Those are big, big psychological mistakes that are easy for each and every one of us to do in some point in time in our life. So do not shy away. Even if you identify yourself in some of it or in some place on the scale, at least you know, you recognize it, and after today, you're already getting better. Remember, it's all our choices. No one can tell us what we are. Only we should do self-awareness, be aware of what we are without playing games, and then self-development, develop ourselves, right? This is why we do this, and this is why I invest the time, because those mistakes have helped me so much to identify so much inside myself that I really wish for all of you to adopt them. Do not let the ego stand in your way of becoming more. We have some texts here, I see, or is that individual between themselves? Let me have a look.
Those are just hello messages.
Hello. Hello to everybody. Let us continue to number 7. Let me have a look. I'm just checking timing. So mistake number 7 of our industry. Show favoritism. That's a big one. And I've actually just had a conversation about that one yesterday. So remember, showing favoritism is choosing CV over CV, team over team, where people say, my right team is already big enough. Now I'm going to work with my left team. I don't have time for my right team. Oh, I already have 1 million CV in this leg. Maybe I'll go and work only on my small leg because, right? Remember, those things create very dangerous duplications because people see everything. We cannot hide. Every action we do, even if we think it is hidden, eventually we are a family and a community. It is exposed, and it causes hard feelings in the community. It causes separation, and it destroys team chemistry. You must be upline to all. I had one of my partners yesterday, we're mentioning about a particular topic we're dealing, and she was saying a sentence like, well, I'm a woman, so of course I will always support the woman's side. And I said, well, we can't really afford to do that because we're supposed to manage our network non-gender based, non-religion based, non-politician based, non-color, no race based, nothing. We have to totally be equal and really give no favoritism to one over another. That's our responsibility of the head of the family we are creating. And each one of us, the second you brought one partner, you are starting already to create a family. Now you have a brother or a sister. And you can never have favoritism. If you want to have unity and team chemistry, you can't have favoritism inside your teams. Big deal. Specifically, I'm telling everyone, do not make gender differences. We are all one. When we're here, we're not men, women. We are lifestyle advisors, promoters, retailers. We represent opulence, the most opulent company on the planet, and we are one. When we leave this, we can go and be whatever we want. Here we are one, and we must all treat everybody with no favoritism. Remember? Now, You don't get the luxury to choose unless you deal with a sunblock. Okay, so pay attention. Some people are sun blockers. A sunblock is a person that when he leaves the room, the sun starts shining. When they come in, there's no sun. They suck the sun. They usually are the ones that will always tell you why everything is not possible. They will always tell you to stop dreaming. They will always try and separate and gossip and create. Sun blockers usually do not listen. So when you deal with a sun blocker, it is not the same as dealing with everybody else. You need to be aware of your sun blockers and you need to help them, not shun them away, not treat them like a bad person. No, just help them with self-awareness, move them towards self-development. Never give up on anybody, but always be aware of the sun blockers, because you must also equally protect the rest of the family. Even if we have one family member that is just choosing all the wrong choices for the community, and he goes and hits or spits or I don't know what, you can't let that individual be there. You can either throw them out or you can isolate them with lots of love and try and find what is the reason and find a way they evolve from it, okay? That will never happen if you show favoritism, because favoritism is spread as fast as a rumor. And very quickly, people are going to be talking behind your back and saying, no, he prefers only these people. No, they like only these people. And you don't want to lose your team chemistry once you have worked so hard to build it. Okay? This is mistake number 7. If we don't have any comments or any questions, I will move to number 8. Perfect. Let me see. Okay, we will finish our training today with mistake number 8. As I say, we always like to make it short, and today we'll manage to even cut it to almost half an hour, even less. That is remarkable. Now, mistake number 8, time and focus management. That is a big, big deal. You see, because most sometimers, and I hope all of you by now, if you're listening to this training, I hope you know what the 8 categories of involvement are from the Forensic Networker. If not, go quickly and read it. It's very important. But in there, the 5th group is actually a group called the sometime group. And the sometime group represents almost 90+% of our industry. And the biggest challenge with that group is that they literally believe that they are part-time. They don't know they are sometimers. And the difference between a part-time and a sometimer is a sometimer doesn't work with a calendar, no organization. A part-timer has a calendar, he knows exactly what he's doing. But even a part-timer can make the mistake of time and time management because they don't understand that first point. Busy versus income generating activity. You can be busy 24 hours a day with activity that does not generate income. Now, if that is what you want in life and you have no desire for income, that's wonderful. But if your purpose is to generate more income, if you're busy with stuff that is not income generating, you are not achieving your purpose. Remember, daily time reserve means income generating activity. That means that if you basically use income generating activity instead of being busy with proper time management, following the right actions of the 5 protocol in this case, now this is what you'll receive. You'll receive daily time reserve, extra daily time. You'll receive extra daily energy, and you will receive extra daily focus, which means doing IGA is the best way to have more time, more energy, and more focus, usually more income. Remember these ones, those are big ones. If what you are watching, listening, thinking, talking, remember those, whatever you are watching, listening, thinking, talking with others, does not take you closer to your goals. If all of those do not take you closer to your goal, why are you doing it? Jim Rohn. Remember, we don't get paid for time. We get paid for input. And at this point, I will close our call for today. As I said, we're always going to do 3 or 4 mistakes. Even if we go faster through them, I prefer to shorten the time of those trainings and to make sure that people watch more and more. So, unless there are any comments, any questions, I will stop the recording and wish everybody a great week. We will meet on Monday for the protocol number 5. And after that, we might take a week reset, like a week break. We will see, we will notify everybody. Yulia, do we have any comments, any text, or was this clear enough?
There is a comment from Christine Nickel that says, wow, that's powerful.
Christine, thank you very much. Let me just stop the recording. So for everyone that's watching this one at home, I hope you watch it many, many times, one mistake at a time, write down things. If you want to talk to me, you're welcome to connect with me, and I'm happy to go over anything forensic related with you, or opulence related, of course. Now, how do I stop the recording? There we